So.
Yeah, you up first. Matter of fact. So what's your overall NFL draft grade? Because we watched it. It was a phenomenal draft. We will lie, by the way, was enjoying it. Next year, we might as well see it through. That was my fault too. Next year, I'll be ready, prepared. Because we left it like 27. I was like, next time I'll be before. And
I said, once we got to 24, I'm like, I was like, man, we should finish this draft. We get 24. James like, nah, I ain't got it. James like, I ain't got it.
It's all good. So, Craig, Carolina Panthers, man, what you got their draft grade?
Let me check my. I think I got them down as a B plus. I just thought the first pick was really good. Obviously, they had their choice of tackles. Could have went either way, and I wanted Neal more than I wanted the kid from NC State. I don't know how to say his name, but I'm glad they got a left tackle. So they got that side, well, at least part of that side straightened out. And then they didn't have a day 2 pick, but they traded. They were trying to trade for Baker Mayfield, but they couldn't come to terms on money. So I don't know what Cleveland was asking for. I tried to look around, couldn't find anything. So I don't know if they wanted Carolina to pay the whole thing, or I don't know what the determination was or the dollar amount was. But that didn't work out, obviously. So they ended up trading in the first round or second round. It's gonna be third round. Damn, third round, and getting Matt Corral. So I thought that was a solid quarterback draft, or a solid draft pick, I should say. They didn't reach really. I think Matt Corral was a second, maybe a third round, maybe a fourth, something like that in that range, I guess. So I don't think they really reached for him. I kind of want to know if they were going to trade for, or if they even thought about trading for Willis, and how, like, when the trade talks with Cleveland broke down. Was it after the Willis pick? Was it before? And I don't know, because I would have liked them if the trade talks had broken down before the Willis pick. Then I would have liked it for them to jump up and draft Willis instead of Corral. But maybe they broke down after he was already taken, and then they just said, you know what, we need a quarterback, so whatever. So I'm cool with that. I like Brandon Smith. He's really fast. He's tall. Whatever. I think he's going to be solid. He's just kind of a little rough around the edges. Same thing with Barno and Mays. But these were late round picks, so you can't really ask for too much. But Mays adds more depth to the offensive line, and Barno is another edge rusher that they could have. Maybe he'll get some playing time. I'm not sure, but at least the first, they only had 6 picks. So I mean, for what it's worth, I'm just basing it off of the value of the picks and like who they took, and the fact that they didn't like go all crazy and go reach for anything like that. So I give them a B plus. I don't know what, maybe if they had either got Baker Mayfield for the low as far as money that they could have paid, and they could have gotten or if they could have traded for Willis or traded up to get Willis, then I probably would have given them an A. Maybe even they taken Neal instead of NC State tackle. Who knows? But I give him a B plus.
All right. Anybody else got any draft trades for Carolina? Everybody's cool with a B plus.
I'm cool with it.
Definitely defer to Craig on that.
Yeah. I like that.
If they didn't draft that quarterback, that grade would have went down a little bit.
Oh man, that grade would have been nah. And the thing about it is that I read that they were intrigued about possibly taking a quarterback there. Like they just weren't. They it's not like they automatically knew, even though there were 3 tackles there, that they were going to take a tackle. They still kind of going back and forth from what I was hearing. So that kind of irritated me, but I'm glad they stuck with a tackle.
So Craig, let me ask you this though: who do you think in that draft room had the smarts to say out of the organization, who you think had the smarts to say no, we can't do that? Like
I don't even know, man. I really don't know, because a few weeks ago I called everybody on that team or in the organization dumb, because I think they're all dumb except for maybe the president, because she just got there in February, so maybe it was her. I don't know. Maybe she's there somewhere. Maybe she called him up. I don't know who was in the draft room at the time, but I don't have any faith in Matt Rule. I don't have any faith in damn, I'm gonna mess his name up. The GM. I can't think of his name right now. I don't have any faith in him. The owner's he's terrible. I don't know. So, but like I said, I'm just glad that they made a move. Like I could have seen Matt Rule taking a quarterback because this is probably his last season. He's on a hot seat, so trying to make a splash move. But fortunately, he didn't do that. So I'm hoping he got in his ear.
Yeah, he like Nagy from last year. I think he in a situation like Nagy was from last year. It's just a matter of time if they're gonna let him finish the season or not. It's just if they're gonna let him finish the season or not.
Maybe it was McAdoo. Maybe McAdoo said something. He saw what happened to Daniel Jones or seen what was happening to him with that offensive line, and it's like, no, we can't. And plus, he already put his foot in his mouth about the whole Sam Darnold's our starter, blah blah blah. You shouldn't have said, but whatever.
All right. Draft grades for Atlanta Falcons.
I think I got him an
A. Yeah.
I think I did. Yeah, I got him an A.
I got them at an A. I think they did.
Unfortunately, I thought they did pretty good.
They did really.
He said,
good.
unfortunately,
they did. They did really good.
I think what's name going to start by mid-season. I think Ritter going to start. I think Ritter going to get in there by mid-season. I give it week 8.
Depending on what the schedule is, especially when they're probably not going to have nothing to play for at that point in time. So I can see it.
Yeah. It depends how Mariota is.
It's going to depend on their run game because their old coordinator is a run dominant dude with play action. He's Tennessee old. He's still calling the plays. Tennessee old coach, right? He the head coach, but he calling the plays pretty much, right?
Arthur Smith, yeah.
Yeah, so it all depends on who their running backs are because if you telling me Marcus Mariota going to drop back 30 times, 25 times, yeah, okay. All right.
So
let's see how that work for you.
I mean,
he should be fresh.
Yeah, he should, but we've seen this story before.
They're in a good position because they could have an open competition, right?
I love that USC pick though. I love that wide receiver. I wanted us to get
competition, and Ritter could start, and then they could flame out. And
I would name Mariota the starter early on, and
they
make Ritter earn it. Give him time. Wait till like the midpoint in the season, maybe like the bye week, and if he's shown enough in practice throughout the season, then give him the starting job. I wouldn't be in a rush to put him out there day one.
Okay, so here's the question. Craig's probably gonna love this. They're gonna have a high pick next year. Do you keep Britt as a starter, trade it out, or pick a quarterback?
They're not gonna take a quarterback next year.
I think so. You don't think
if
so?
If you're in position to get one, I think
they're gonna get one. if they're I don't think they have.
I don't understand. It seems like this was a wasted. Why even waste a third round pick on a quarterback? You're just going to end up taking one next year.
He's there.
It doesn't make sense. You already signed Mariota, so why not just go ahead and play it out?
Value.
I think that's dumb. I just don't understand it. If that was the case, then that's a stupid pick to me.
You think they should have did what Seattle did?
I mean, if you're all in on Mariota as your starter and you think you're going to be bad anyway, and you're going to just be in the top 2 or 3. Why not just go ahead and do what Seattle did? Just don't take a quarterback.
We'll get to them. I think they had a phenomenal draft. But yeah, I give Atlanta A. I do like their picks. And they waited to the 3rd round. I was worried for a second, but I was kind of right, you know. But Craig, you should have made that bet. Man. You would have made some money. What was it? Under 3 quarterbacks?
The odds went up on that because I think a lot of people were already making them. So it wasn't even, you were going to pay way too much money to even make any money.
All right. The New Orleans Saints. What do you give their draft grade?
I would say A.
You give the Saints an A?
Yeah, I would. I think they hit on that. I think they knew what they needed, like to get Olave up there and trade up. Like that was the move because that's gonna be dangerous. Like if he's even halfway decent potential, and they get getting Thomas back, and then Kamara in the backfield. Oh man, I think that could be a definite dangerous mix. And then I don't know if we added in free agency or we strictly talking about the draft, but just added Honey Badger, just You know, they got a couple other picks, and then they signed. If I'm not mistaken, they jumped back in the first round and got a tackle. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Trevor Pence.
Yes. Yeah. So, and we talk
That's
about that was
a good
one of the
pick.
top tackles in the draft. You know, one of the meanest
Good
tackles
pick.
in the draft. So, I get them an A. I think overall they built their team.
I think they successfully built their team. And I'm gonna be honest. I fell for what everybody thought. I guess we all did. I really thought they were gonna draft a quarterback. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, all right, they're gonna draft a quarterback. But then when they didn't, I was like, all right, they're going with Jameis as a starter. If he stays healthy, I mean, they got a decent team.
I mean, they make the playoffs last year if he stays healthy.
He stays healthy, yeah. And then they have Olave with the tackle. I mean, it's pretty good. I know Craig doesn't want to hear that.
No, I think they did the smart thing because they needed the left tackle and they needed another wide receiver. So you don't know what's going to happen with Michael Thomas. Who knows if he's even going to be the same Michael Thomas he was three. Plus, he had Drew Brees on the ball at that time. So it's not Drew Brees, but they only had 5 picks. But I mean, the first 2 picks they really hit on. Even the third one with
they got the corner,
cornerback. So you know, I think they did pretty good for those, at least the top 3 anyway.
Because Michael Thomas is 2 years. He's been out 2 years.
Kind of like about 2 years, 2-3 years, 2 years.
Something like that, yeah. 2.
Something like that. Like he didn't play at all last year. So on one hand, he should be rested, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Tampa Bay.
Mm.
I think they did a B. I mean,
I gave him a B-. I thought they were okay.
Yeah. Nothing surprising.
They needed a tackle, I thought, or at least offensive line help, and they got that. They got defensive help.
They got a running back too.
Running back replacement for Ronald Jones. So I thought they did all right.
Yeah, I think they did. They did good.
I wasn't expecting much from Tampa anyway. Tampa and like teams like the Rams and all, like I wasn't
deep. Yeah, man. They're real deep. So, I mean, the teams like that, they're just drafted for depth and future starters. You want to be in those positions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
not gonna lie.
They did take a punter in the 4th,
which is very weird.
Yeah.
That's why they probably have a B, not an A to me. I don't know why they took a punter in a 4th. That was
it was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. That was kind of
They got a tight end, maybe Grunt. I don't know if maybe Grunt doesn't come back.
I mean, I get the tight end. I don't know.
They got 2 of them actually, so I didn't understand the second one, but okay.
Second one, I believe, is a blocking tight end.
Oh yeah, he was a 6th round pick, so I just thought maybe they could have taken something else. I don't know.
Yeah,
but either way.
And all right, we're gonna do the AFC South. Corey, let's start off with the Indianapolis Colts. What'd you give their grade?
I gave him an A-. They lost their 1st round pick in the Carson Wentz trade. But then again, Philly used that pick to get A.J. Brown out of the AFC South. So that actually kind of works out in Indy's favor.
He did see that text.
Then the 2nd round, they traded back, got an extra 3rd round pick, still got their guy in Alec Pierce out of Cincinnati. I think Pierce competes probably immediately for snaps at wide receiver 2 and kind of feels like a faster version of Michael Pittman.
Were they high on the draft board? From what you could tell, Corey, was there a lot of buzz around him?
Pierce. So a couple of weeks before the draft, it came out that the Colts brass, Reich, Ballard, all of them, drove down to Cincinnati for a private workout with Desmond Ridder.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, wide receiver in that workout was Alec Pierce.
It's a smokescreen.
Probably. Chris Ballard reportedly came away so impressed with Pierce in that workout that he called Pierce personally afterwards to tell him as much. And I think at that point, they were locked in on Pierce with their 1st pick. So to be able to move back, get an extra 3, and still get your guy is really good. Pairing Jelani Woods next to Mo Alley Cox is going to be fun as hell. Reich has a really tight end friendly scheme. He's crazy athletic. I don't know if you guys heard the story. Woods, came out of high school, went to Oklahoma State. The coaches asked him to run the Mark Andrews position in prep for playing Oklahoma, and Woods just tore up Oklahoma State's defense all week in practice. And so they immediately moved him to tight end after that. He was underutilized, but I think getting him in a place that will actually get him on the field, get him running routes, Woods could be a sneaky good pick there in round 3. They got their potential tight end of the future, and Raymond. He's spent 2 years as a tight end in college, so he's got crazy athleticism, and he's going to have a chance to compete for left tackle day one. Wow. Then they used the other pick that they got in the Wentz trade to trade back into round 3 and get Nick Cross, the safety out of Maryland.
I wanted him so bad, man.
Everything I've read is that basically Maryland just had him play deep and just cover for any and all mistakes in their secondary.
I wanted that kid.
Crazy athletic, hits really hard. He's really intriguing. And for Chris Ballard to give up a future pick to move up and take you, that means the Colts really liked him. The Colts, like their internal team, thought that if Cross would have waited a year and come out, he would have been at least the second round pick, if not higher. So then in day 3, they added some really interesting depth pieces, namely Curtis Brooks, the defensive tackle out of Cincinnati that they got in the 6th, fell because he was undersized. He's 6'2" and like 290. NFL coaches, wanting him over 300 pounds, but according to Pro Football Focus, he had like the highest pass rush win rates of any D lineman in college last year. And I think he'll compete for snaps right away. And an undersized defensive tackle in the Colts 4-3 scheme isn't a problem. So Ballard accumulated picks, got guys that are going to make some impacts right away. The bottom of the draft, I still think those guys make the roster and play some special teams. So, and impressively enough, they hit their 3 biggest needs in their first 3 picks.
Yeah, that matters. Also, actually, I have to watch Colin Cowherd's podcast. He actually had Chris Ballard on. It's about a 30-minute. I need to watch it. I love it when he interviews GMs. And this podcast is not, you can catch it on YouTube, but it's not like on FS1. So it's kind of good to listen to GMs and about their take and their look at, players, how their attributes, stuff like that. It's just very interesting to me listening to GMs and players from their perspective. So
one thing I can't wait for. It's something that Chris Ballard has done every year. He brings in members of the indie media into their film room and will show film and break down exactly why they took everyone they did in the draft.
Oh, I like that.
And it's a really interesting behind the scenes kind of look at like what they specifically liked about each of their guys.
Yeah, I like that. I wish a lot more GMs would do that. It's very interesting from a fan perspective, man. I love it to hear why they make the moves that they make when they make them. All right, guys, let's do Tennessee Titans. What draft grades do we have? Big trade. They traded.
Are we adding that in too?
Yes.
Yeah, we got to.
I gave him a B-.
Gave him a B.
B-? Why? Is it because of the trade?
The trade. They are betting a lot on Treylon Brooks.
Yeah.
When you hit a home run on a guy like AJ Brown the second round,
pay him money.
I kept seeing people comparing it to Green Bay and Kansas City, and I don't understand the comparison. Like Green Bay had a 30-year-old wide receiver that they didn't want to give $25 million a year to.
AJ Brown's
I get
24.
Kansas City is a 28-year-old receiver whose entire game is built on speed. Didn't want to commit to him long term. Kind of get it. put a 23, 24-year-old receiver coming out of their rookie contract.
Yeah.
That's who you pay.
Yeah. That's why San Francisco's not letting go of Debo. They're going to pay him because of his age.
Yep.
That's like,
And I mean,
you know what I'm saying? That's like Green Bay. They did trade Devontae. It's Devontae's second contract. This is Tyreek's second contract. Yeah, go ahead, Corey. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at like Ryan Tannehill's reaction to the trade, you look at I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the War Room and Vrabel's reaction, his body language after the trade was announced. Like he wasn't happy. It's trading away like homegrown guys that outperform their rookie deal is how you kind of start to upset some guys in the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Craig, what you think?
Grade, I gave him a B. Was it a B or B, man? I gave him a B. I mean, obviously the trade kind of hurts them. It hurts their grade to me, but they got a wide receiver replacement possibly. I thought they needed help on the cornerback side, on the defensive side, in the secondary. They got that. I like the Willis pick, 3rd round. I mean, he was projected to go in the 1st round. A lot of people thought, but 3rd round talent. Now, what I didn't like, I guess, was after the fact. I mean, this has nothing to do with the grade or nothing like that. But like the whole, I'm not gonna mentor him. What it is. I mean, like I don't have a problem with it, but I kind of do because I mean, he's on one hand, that's not his job really to mentor and to coddle him and bring him up and show him whatever. But at the same time, like you would want somebody to do that for you if you were in that position. So I kind of concede both sides, but I mean, I'm hoping that Willis is still able to have a great career minus the actions of what's the guy's name? Tannehill, yeah. Because I just thought that
know his name.
That was terrible.
Hey, because
you know his name, man.
because
he's not that good. I mean,
because of his all right. So because of his talent and what he brings in the run game, and because Tennessee's a run-oriented team, do you see them putting him on the field in packages with the zone reads and the other stuff this year, or do you see them fully sitting him and like just letting the chips fall where it may?
I could probably see some packages. Maybe
Makes
like
sense.
It would make sense, but I don't know.
pay some hill packages or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, like I was thinking something like that.
Tannehill's not the type of quarterback that you want to refuse to take off the field. So if you can throw in a wrinkle with somebody else,
yeah.
Tannehill, he's done after this year.
So
he's owed guaranteed money for like 2 more years.
Yeah, he's guaranteed money for 2 more years.
If Derrick Henry stays healthy, that defense, I'm hard pressed to say they won't make the playoffs, but they won't be the number 1 seed this year. I can say that. I'll come hard to say they won't be the number 1 seed.
They're not making the playoffs.
It might be one of those teams that don't make the playoffs that made it last year. Y'all have to remember, man. Y'all have to remember this stat. It's a lot of teams every year in the NFL. This is why it's loved. The parity. It's 8 or 9 teams that made the NFL will not make the NFL playoffs this year. It happens every year. You have some teams like Buffalo and Kansas City, but some teams fall out. Baltimore fell out. You know what I'm saying? The Colts fell out. It's going to be teams like the Colts that make it and Tennessee falls out. It's going to be teams like Cincinnati falls out and Baltimore makes it. It's going to happen. It's going to be teams that Cowboys fall out and the Commanders make it stop, but that's probably going to happen. So I'm just saying it happens like every year. So I love it.
For Tennessee, I'll say that for a team that, their team is built around Derrick Henry and the So for a team whose Super Bowl window is shrinking as the longer Henry's career goes, Treylon Burks, Malik Willis, those are draft picks for like 2 years down the line, not for today. And I don't know how much longer their window to make a run stays open.
But here's the issue also, from that standpoint is, with you doing what you just did, losing your receivers, Derrick Henry can't take that wear and tear continuously that you think you're going to run him 30 times a game. If you think you're going to just sit there and go through a 16-game season, run him 30 times a game, nope. The AFC just got better. You already were struggling to do that in the AFC already. Now you're going to try to do it now with the AFC getting better. Yeah, Derrick Henry ain't gonna last too long.
They're gonna look different, man. Now, just like with going back, we're gonna move on after this. Like what Tanny will say, he doesn't mentor. Now, listen, I don't know if anybody mentor him, but you know what's funny that he knows what it's like, right? He knows what it's like being drafted. He knows what it's like being cut. He knows what it's like being the second guy. And you know, Jimmy Garoppolo said this when they bought Trey Lance in. He said, I'm gonna do what Tom Brady did to me. Tom Brady didn't like Jimmy Garoppolo, but it doesn't mean that he didn't do his job and mentor Jimmy Garoppolo. He did. And Jimmy Garoppolo passed it down. So I think it depends who the person is. Just like in everyday life when you go to work. You have some people who don't you go to work that just don't want to be bothered and aren't going to train you. You have some people that are, especially coming from the service industry. Corey probably tell you have some people that don't want to train you, and some people that are going to give you their best no matter what. So, it's you know, I hope. I mean, it depends on how he wants to. You know, it's the future is literally up to him at this point. They're not making it easy by trading his best receiver away, and then drafting a rookie quarterback in the first round and a receiver, and it's gonna be. It looks like they're moving towards the future. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars. What's your grades on them?
I got him at a C.
You gave him a C?
Yeah. I mean, like at least like their first two picks, they went on defense. Now I don't like the first pick because I thought they should have went with Hutchinson, but I mean it's something that they liked. I guess they saw when they brought him down, or maybe they saw something on film, whatever the case may be. They saw something that they liked, so they took Walker instead of Hutchinson. Cool, that's fine. I mean that kind of that brings the draft grade down. But I like the fact that they focused on defense because I thought they needed help on defense.
The only thing that saved their grade was Utah. Devin Lloyd out of Utah.
Yeah.
Who they got back into the first round, who is considered one of the best linebackers. The Trayvon Walker. I'm a big film guy in college. I'm getting Hutchinson or Thibodeau. I'm not getting Walker. I don't understand the pick. Sometimes people go after ceiling and athleticism, and I'm one of those guys that look at the film, and you know, that's just me. But that's why they didn't get an A.
It's just they better be right.
Yeah.
Much like Cincinnati taking
Chase
receiver over a tackle last year. It's if you're not going to take Hutchinson, who looks by all accounts to be at a minimum is going to have a solid career, then you better be right.
Yeah, solid career. You know, like even if he has what's his name? Oh man, edge rusher. Even if he has like a Mario Williams type of career, still good, right?
Yeah, multiple Pro Bowls, a consistent guy for you. Yeah.
You know, so I just 6 sacks. I mean, I don't see it. Maybe somebody else saw it, but I didn't see it. So
it's the Jaguars.
Yeah.
All right. The last one, which is very interesting to me, Houston Texans. What's their draft grade?
B plus.
Yeah. Okay, but they did. Now listen, Derek Stingley is a reach, but
I mean, I understand because of the injury. I mean, you know, but is that really a reach? He was gonna go top 10. I mean, if you want to take corner at 3,
10, but I just had Sauce Gardner. But right. I mean, if that's their guy, you know, it's not a Trayvon Walker situation. Okay, let's clear that up. But if it's their guy, you know, can't say it's a reach. So I agree with you there. He was going to be 15th He was going to drop.
I like the safety pick. I love the Mitchie pick because it says we know we're not going to win right now, but we're going to get a guy that can be electric once he get on this field. We know we might not win right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think their first 5 picks are starters for them.
Yep.
I like the Booker pick out of Stanford in the 5th. I really like the Mechie pick. I was high on John Mechie coming out.
You wanted to go to the Colts. Yeah. They did good. I'm not gonna listen. David Mills might be a decent quarterback, guys. You know, I keep hearing his name. I don't think he's gonna be terrible, but I think he's gonna be all right. Let's see what listen, worst case scenario for them is just like Seattle. If they suck, they're gonna get a really good quarterback next year. It's already talked
James,
about.
Here's another fun fact I heard over the weekend. Davis Mills lost the state championship in high school senior year. You know who the opposing quarterback was? Jelani Woods.
You said who?
Jelani Woods.
Who's Jelani Woods?
The tight end that Indianapolis drafted.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh man. And they're both playing against each other. Isn't that interesting? That's a cool fun fact. All right, Bo.
Yep.
We're doing the NFC East. Washington Commanders.
It's hard for me, man. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna do a slash here. I'm gonna go B-/C. The number one issue we had, we didn't address. We didn't address linebacker. That's an issue for me. I'm cool. I don't know what we was doing. If we was gonna go receiver, no matter what, I think we should just stay where we at and got Olave. We sat there and moved back down to still get a receiver. No disrespect to Dobson. I like him, but I'm like, if we could have stayed there and got Olave, we traded back, and this showed me we still now we lost other picks. So I kind of think the Dobson pick was kind of a forced hand pick because I think the other people we would have drafted went before that. If you look how things went. You look, so Detroit traded up and got Williamson, the other receiver from Alabama.
Traded down.
Baltimore got Hamilton. Somebody else who got drafted we probably was looking at. So it was like I feel like our hand was forced with Dobson. I don't really think that was who we was trading down to get.
I think it was. I've been saying this.
Right.
I told you we were going to go after a receiver, and I agree. If you're going to invest in Carson Wentz and you see the NFL gearing toward offense, we've had these conversations before, you might as well get a receiver. He wasn't going to get – you saw the run on receivers. If that's your guy, trade down and get him. Get some extra picks that they can recoup in the Carson Wentz trade, right? And everybody was mad. Now, listen, I think Dotson's going to be a really good receiver. He was going to go in the bottom half of round 1 anyway. He was going to be gone anyway. So I like the pick. I didn't understand Brian Robinson in the 3rd, but after I slept on it a couple of days and then some more days, I finally realized that it's offensive minded. So they're trying to do as much to see if Carson Wentz is the running back. Gibson had full issues last year. It's a bruise.
Were you cool with the D tackle in the second?
Yes.
When we had other issues?
Yeah. I think our O-line is good. We just signed Trey Turner.
No, I'm saying other issues could have been addressed if it was other talent there. Are you cool with the D tackle in the second round?
Yeah.
Other issues could have been addressed?
I think so. I'm pretty good. We're gonna get rid of Deron Payne. If our strength isn't our D line, we might as well recoup. Even if we don't, we're not gonna re-sign Deron Payne. I mean, that's known. We're gonna trade him. We lost Tim Settle to Buffalo.
Yeah, so that's what I think. For this year, it'll be his replacement. And that'll be the rotational piece. Yeah.
Might as well, right? And Percy Butler, I like him. I think he was a good pick in the fourth round. And then we got Sam Howe,
who some people had in their first round. Some people had second round early, and give him the fifth round. That's a good little steal. I feel like that's a steal. I don't feel like Sam Howe was that bad to be a fifth round talent. That's just me.
Greg, I don't know I think it's a good pick.
I mean, y'all think he was a fifth round talent though? Y'all think he was that bad to be a fifth round talent like that?
Nah, I think it was a third round. Yeah, it was a third round. Craig said no. He probably knows something. I think Sam Howell's a smart pickup. He lost a lot of his weapons. So
Howell's the quarterback that intrigued me the most going into this draft. So
I think he sits. If he's not ready, he can still sit. It's not like Carson Wentz is. It's just that his money's not. We could cut.
You can cut him after this upcoming season.
Yes.
And there's no more guaranteed money left.
No more guaranteed. But if he plays good, then we don't, really, it's good. We're in a good situation with that. The tight end in the fifth, depth. I think Ricky Seals was gone. I think they were really focused on the offense, and I get it. So, that's what
as we should. Offense in the back end.
That's what the league is gearing towards. Dotson has a 2% drop rate. So, that's good. I was surprised that they got him. I thought they were going to get Olave. But, we got a receiver. So, I'll give him a B. I don't think they did too bad. All right. Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey.
Gotta give him I know, man. Just because of the trade. It was a huge trade, man.
The trade, and I thought, even though there's some injury concerns or whatever, but Dean going in the third round to them, I thought that was pretty good.
Absolutely.
He's not ready for the season opener, or he can't play.
That's a steal. That's a first round talent you got in the third round.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I did see some talk that Dean may have a redshirt season, but
he has a hinder. Was it Corey? Wasn't it you that posted his injury history? It's a long list, guys.
I think Jordan Davis is a really good defensive tackle. As Fletcher Cox's career winds down, getting a guy like that is really solid. And then
he can stop the run last year. So
having AJ Brown opposite of Devontae Smith.
Yep.
Oh man, Lord have mercy.
They got a good center too.
Cam Jurgens.
Kelsey is coming up. I think he's coming back for this last year. Might be his last year. Yeah,
probably his last year.
And he's probably, which is a great thing if they draft a center. He's probably in the stage like, come on, then I'll teach you everything I know. I'm game. he
was actually on a live stream when that pick happened, and he was all for it.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it was. Was it Bleacher Report?
Yeah.
Really? Yep. I saw that. So that's pretty good. So I give him a A, but we'll see. They're good on paper. We'll see them when the season starts. If Jalen Hurts can deliver the ball to AJ Brown. That'll come up. That'll come up in a different conversation.
I heard it wasn't a podcast, but I don't know if it was Get Up or if it was First Take. They said with these moves, Tua and Hurts is under the most pressure. They're in the same situation now.
Yes.
Like we gave y'all talent. We gave y'all talent. Now produce.
Yes.
You got no more excuses now. We did everything we can for you now.
Yes. The teams are letting them know, like, there's no excuse. We're surrounding you with talent to see what you can do.
Yeah. Philly should be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Potentially win the division.
Yep. Should. And if they don't, I don't think Jalen Hurts is the quarterback next year.
No, he ain't.
That's a fact.
I think they got to win the division. I mean, I think even just winning the play, even let me say this: if they go to the playoffs, he'll have to win a playoff game for them to keep him. I don't think he can just sit there and just go to the playoffs this year and they keep him.
That's hard to get rid of a playoff quarterback.
It depends on how that playoff game.
I don't know, Mo. It depends.
But Philly rough though. I mean, I get it, but we talk about Philly. That's the only reason I'm saying that comment.
That's
Philly kind of rough.
He's building a rapport with the receivers. They made the playoffs. That's gonna be interesting.
I mean, and I get what y'all saying because it's 2 straight years making the playoffs. So yeah.
That's a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
That's a good position to be in. All right, New York Giants. What's the draft grade?
I gave him
A minus.
I gave him an A, man. A lot of people didn't like their picks. You didn't like their picks, Craig?
I mean, after the first 2, I didn't like any of the picks, but the first 2 kind of saved them to me, like saved their grade, I guess.
No, yeah.
Well, they like picks, which is weird to me. I don't understand why.
Huh?
Some draft experts didn't like their picks.
I don't know why they took another wide receiver.
I get round 2, but I know some like Joe Klatt was like he didn't like the Giants. He thought it wasn't like,
I think Wan'Dale Robinson is probably insurance in case Tony doesn't end up working out.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like the pick last year.
I think the guard they added in round 3 is solid. Bellinger tight end, I think, is insurance and is a solid receiving tight end.
Mm-hmm. They got a lot. They got
Micah McFadden was a good linebacker in college. I thought they added a lot of talent.
They added a lot of talent. They got a safety in the 4th, a linebacker in the 4th, a tight end in the 4th, a corner in the 3rd. As long
as Daniel Jones know he auditioning this year. As long as he auditioning for some other teams.
They got a lot of talent. So I give them an A, man. I think they overall had a good draft. I think they had a good draft. Craig,
so fellas, do y'all think they draft was for overall team growth, or do you think their draft was for? Did they draft was an indication of like Daniel Jones, you out of here? We just building for the team, and you gonna be gone.
I don't know. It's just they had a lot of holes, so
right.
They potentially drafted a couple of starters for their offensive line.
Yep.
Added a couple of weapons, and they got a guy at Thibodeau that was, before he got hurt last year, was being talked about as like a consensus number 1 pick in the draft at 5.
Yeah. So I think they drafted to overall to make the team better. Craig, you didn't like the only pick you didn't like was the receiver pick?
I didn't like I don't like the receiver pick. I didn't like the I just thought they could have went. I thought they needed more offensive line help, honestly. So the offensive line is just really bad. I mean, I know they took the guard in round 3, I think, or something like that. So
3,
I think
I think they should have took it.
Bring the list up.
Maybe
I mean, they signed a guard in free agency to start.
Oh yeah, they did. I was just going off of the draft. Well, yeah, okay. You're right.
Yeah, they're trying. I think they're trying to build their team. All right, Dallas Cowboys. What's their draft grade? I know what I gave them.
I gave them
a D.
I gave them a C plus.
Take that up. I didn't.
I mean, they didn't really like. Normally, it seemed like Dallas takes splashy names or like big from players from big time schools. They really didn't do that this draft. But they did need offensive line help. I thought they did need a wide receiver.
Why did he get the center?
But
I mean, I think the tackle was
the center from Iowa.
I don't know, but I think the tackle was all right. So you gotta think they lost. Smith. I think the tackle was forced. Their hand was forced with the tackle because the other tackles they liked were all off the board. So they didn't have the tackles that they wanted on the board.
Why didn't you get the edge rusher that fell?
Oh, you got one in round 2? I don't know. Maybe they no, he did.
Nah.
He still went first round, right? Didn't the Jets go back in the first round to get the dude from Florida State?
Late in the first round, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think the tackle that they drafted, he needs some work. I mean, from what I heard, he's really grabby. He's
was
aggressive,
the most
but he's
penalized
like
tackle in football, and he went to the most penalized offensive line in the NFL. It doesn't make any sense.
Perfect marriage.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, they could have got the best center in the draft who people traded.
Now, the one thing I will say is that tight end from Iowa, at least you know he gonna block. Listen. I mean, from Wisconsin, at least you know he gonna block. If one thing he gonna do, you know, tight ends come from Iowa gonna block.
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin. My bad, Wisconsin.
I just don't think they did enough. You know, I don't think they did enough. Speaking, now we're going to the AFC East. The New England Patriots grade.
D something.
What did you say, Craig?
A D minus or D something. I don't know.
I gave them a D borderline.
I gave him a D.
Borderline F, man, for real, man.
They didn't really
what they were doing. I don't know what they're doing. It seems like Belichick is like, I'm gonna burn this. I'm going out. Like, I don't know if he's. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm going crazy because I don't.
Should have been cornerback. First pick should have been cornerback for them.
Thank you.
But I don't know. I mean, they got it in round 3. They got round 3.
Paid J.C. Jackson. They could have paid it.
They went back-to-back running backs or cornerbacks rounds 3 and 4. They got crushed for taking Cole Strange, but he's an interior lineman. If you think he's got a round 1 grade, then so be it. I mean, you're picking at 29 at that point. Like, I'm not going to fault them for taking a guy they really like at the end of round 1. I feel like Tyquan Thornton was a bit of a reach in the second. Taking Bailey Zapp, the quarterback out of Western Kentucky, with guys like Sam Howell still on the board. I don't understand that.
What?
I mean, Zapp was like a potential 6th, 7th round.
Why get him in the 4th?
Why get him at all?
Yo, what is this? I don't understand.
You could have afraid easy, but I don't think nobody was going to
I was watching First Things First. It was like the first time this has happened after a rookie Pro Bowler, a rookie quarterback went to the Pro Bowl to draft a quarterback in the 4th round was like in the 90s. It's like, what? I just don't understand the pick. I don't understand what Belichick's doing. I don't. It's baffling to me. It's baffling. Why get a quarterback in the 4th round?
I believe when they took Thornton, wasn't Sky Moore still on the board?
Yeah, they could have got. That. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. It's very odd to me. Maybe the dog was making the picks. I don't know. Let me stop. I don't get it.
They reached around.
I don't get it at all.
It sounded like they was reaching across the board. Like they
reached in round 1. Round 2 as well. I don't understand. I don't know. I just would have went a different route, but maybe they know something. I don't know.
I guess running back
based on New England's track record with wide receivers. I got it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You drafted one. What? You drafted one 3 years ago. 4 years. He didn't even make it to his option.
3 years.
You got rid of him.
Yeah.
He asked for a trade, and nobody wanted him. I mean, that's it. Was
that the year after Lamar? Was that the year after Lamar or the year before?
He's
Lamar or the year after?
He's the year after.
Okay, because the year of Lamar, they drafted an offensive lineman and they drafted a running back.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know, you know. So we'll only time will tell if they were really good, you know, really good draft picks. All right, Buffalo Bills. Ready to give
B plus?
Yeah, I give them a really good grade. I mean, they got to be. It's just like Tampa, man. It's one of those teams that It's just like, hey, we're just gonna draft for depth. We're gonna, you know what? They're in a position that they say, let's get the best overall player.
Yeah, I think Elon sees the field pretty early for them. I think James Cook could potentially be the best running back in their running back room day one.
Yep.
Khalil Shakir is a really interesting receiving option for them.
Yep, they got a linebacker as well. So it's when you're good, you're picking luxury picks, man. So that's a great job. All right, New York Jets.
A
plus,
A.
man. I think they had a good draft. I don't know where they end the season at, but I mean, they got an edge rusher. They traded back. You got a top 10 edge rusher. Don't know what Dallas is doing. They got Sauce Gardner. I mean, that the best corner is off the board. So
like people saying they got 3 players in the first round that was like top 15, top 10 rates.
yeah. I think they did good for drafting the future. I mean, at this point, it's on Zach Wilson. So, it'll be year 2 next year?
He at least has help this year.
He has help. And Craig gives quarterbacks 3 years. Right, Craig? Is it 3 years?
Yeah. Well, just after
I
3
mean,
years.
you can give him a fair evaluation this year as far as like outside talent, receiver talent, even O-line talent. Now with what they've done this offseason in the draft, you can kind of give him a fair evaluation and see where he's at now. Like his first year was kind of like, okay.
We'll see. I mean, first years, it depends, man. It depends.
Because he had flashes last year. He had flashes. He had struggles, but he had flashes like you look and be like, oh man, he could be all right.
Hey, man.
I ain't saying Pro Bowl Hall of Fame, but he could be a serviceable, he could be a decent quarterback in this league.
And his first year was horrible. Troy Aikman's first year was horrible. So you don't know. Yeah. He could blow up. You don't know. We just know the NFL is not for long. And if Zach Wilson's not the answer, Robert
won't be there long.
Because they're tied together. All right. Miami Dolphins. I mean, I don't know. I guess a
C.
I gave him a B, but I mean they didn't really have
Tyreek Hill
picks. So I don't even factor that in, but I'm like just in terms of the draft. No, I gave him a C plus. But they only had 4 picks.
Yep.
They didn't pick the first 2 rounds. So
no, they started at round 3. And they got another receiver in round 4, which I don't understand. The receiver room should be good at that point. I would have probably drafted O-line help. That's just me. I would have drafted depth on O-line.
I do like the 7th round pick. I feel like Skylar Thompson showed some flashes at Kansas State, just had some issues staying on the field health-wise. For near end of the draft, well worth a shot. But a lot of their draft is based on the Waddle trade and the Hill trade, and we'll see if the Tyreek Hill trade works out.
Yep, that's right, because they were willing to deal, and they had a lot of picks, and they were that's right. All right, NFC West, Arizona Cardinals, big trade. Traded Hollywood Brown.
I gave him a B, but like I know they needed the wide receiver. I thought they needed the wide receiver anyway.
Yep.
I'm guessing that they might have had inside information maybe before they traded for Brown.
Yes.
So
I mean,
that works out for them. So it makes sense now that they got a wide receiver.
Kyle happy.
I like the cornerback already. The cornerback. I like the tight end, McBride. I thought that was a solid pick, even though they had Ertz already.
The offense is loaded, man.
But I mean, that's just another person that they can throw the ball to. So I thought that was solid.
Then they got 2 edge rushers.
Yeah, they did in the 3rd round. I don't know if isn't Kyler Murray saying he's not going to play unless he gets an extension or something or gets a contract and that whatever.
Well, now, okay, here's the thing. He said that, but bringing Hollywood Brown, that's going to quell some of that because they obviously talked about playing with each other. So I think they give Kyler his extension a year early, and then he'll be on the field with Hollywood Brown. That's what I think will happen. And I think Hollywood Brown. So people, when Lamar Jackson came out and said WTF, right? Now it comes out days later that Hollywood Brown wasn't happy. And I totally understand. The Ravens are run heavy offense. And he wanted target.
Brown's got to be on the field if he wants to make an impact, though.
Yeah. But I think he wants targets. He's seeing what everybody's getting paid, and he wants.
But I mean, another question too would be for how much people kept saying that Lamar and Hollywood ran around. If that's my man's, if that's somebody I'm cool with, I feel like that was expressed to Lamar. I would think so. They said they kept working out every all season since he was drafted. They were working out together. So I feel like if I'm cool with you like that, you're going to tell me like, I don't want to be here.
He wants
target. I feel like.
Is that what you said?
But did he have 91 catches last year?
He had 146 targets.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
He said he wasn't happy. I'm going off what he said. I didn't.
No, I feel you. I'm not saying you're wrong, Jay. I'm saying, huh?
I don't know. He's the only wide receiver there. Now if he goes to Arizona and D-Hop is on
you said how many targets did he get?
He had 146. Caught 91 passes.
That man said, Craig. I don't know. Maybe it was a lot of audibles. I don't know. He said that he wasn't happy with the offense.
Okay. Huh?
That's on him too.
He's not. It's not like he's a top 10 wide receiver. Whatever. I don't care.
No, I'm just, don't get mad at me. Like
I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just saying like he's.
He said he wasn't happy. I was like, okay, I get it. So I have the offense. Maybe he wants 200 targets. I don't know.
He's not gonna get 200 targets.
In Arizona. Yeah, he's not gonna get in Arizona. Even with D-Hop out 6 games, he didn't get 200 targets.
No, get out of here.
He gonna get some targets, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. He said he wasn't happy. All right.
Okay.
LA Rams.
Game was C+.
It just, I mean, their pick went to the Patriots.
I mean, how many people
I mean, I gave them an A largely because their first 2 picks got them Von Miller and Matt Stafford, which got them a ring.
That's very good. That's from a good perspective. Yeah, it was Von Miller and Matthew Stafford got them a ring.
I got him a C.
Yeah,
I mean, they was in the position too, like
that's a good
trade stuff.
That's
like,
what
what
you
really do.
Corey ain't think about that.
No.
I mean, you look at it though, they build some needs. I mean, they got an O lineman, they got a corner. I like that running back they got in 5th round.
Kyron Williams out of Notre Dame. That's a really interesting fit.
Yeah, it is.
I should have gave him an F.
Your running backs TV.
F them picks. Oh, that's such
how many do they have?
3 already.
They got they got a corner from Georgia. Georgia broke the record for most players drafted this year.
Henderson. They got 3.
I think they did. I think they
they beat LSU record. I think they had 15 players drafted. I think it was 15.
I mean, what you like?
The craziest part is half your defense was drafted. That's the wild part.
Oh, Georgia, yeah.
Half their starting defense was drafted this year. That's just crazy.
Hey, they were balling. All right, San Francisco. What grades we got?
B.
That's what I got. I got a B.
Their first was part of the Trey Lance trade.
Yep. They got another receiver. They got a tackle in the 4th.
Edge rusher in the 2nd.
Edge rusher, Drake Jackson. Yeah, I mean, I think they, once again, man, when you get their franchises like that.
Yes, we tell.
They're pretty good. You know, they're loaded already. They're gonna bring back Tebow Samuel, and they'll probably not probably they're gonna be hunting the playoffs. I'm assuming we gotta see what we have with Trey Lance, but I think Trey Lance.
I just didn't understand. I really don't understand the running back pick.
Which one?
The one in the second round. I didn't understand it because they
I
had
didn't either. It
four running backs.
says halfback, so
They already have 4.
I don't get it.
I mean,
They
I
Some of them stay healthy, though.
that Wilson and Mitchell, but come on.
they hurt, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could rationalize is that they're
Nah.
doing it for depth, maybe.
They
And
got 4 running backs. What do you mean the depth? I just don't get it. It just
I don't know, man.
I mean, it seems like they never have more than 2 of them healthy at any given time. So
I'm not buying it, man.
that's what I think. That's my only rationale is they did it for depth because running backs get hurt a lot. They like the small, fast, twitchy.
I mean, because that don't. But my thing with San Francisco is now, how does it look with the dynamic change? If you're going into the season still with Trey Lance, and now Garoppolo's the backup, because right now, where is he getting traded to? Like, what's the trade value? What's the trade value for him? Because he still had surgery. He can't even throw till about July, right? If I'm not mistaken, he's not throwing. He's not gonna be able or physical fit to throw till June, July.
I mean, they're gonna have to.
Yeah, make it work. Yeah.
They're gonna have to make it work. They'll be all right. I think they're gonna go with Trey Lance.
No, they are, but the thing would be is if teams force them to throw and he's not operating or clicking, that offense starts to struggle a little bit with that question mark too.
He got to be thrown in. You got to see what you got.
Yeah, especially when you trade up to third. Yeah, especially you do what you did. Yeah.
You sat a year, man. Like
I would get ready.
I would give him full range. I would, like here you are. We're gonna see what. All right, Seattle Seahawks. I have an A.
I give him B+.
It's the first time they haven't got. Because I'm gonna be really honest. They haven't drafted well.
Yeah,
They haven't.
So this is, I think it was a good draft. I like their running back Kenny Walker out of Michigan State. They got Charles Cross. I like him as a tackle. He'll start day 1. They got an edge in round 2. They got another tackle in round 3. Like, I think they
back-to-back corners in the 4th and 5th. I think both of those guys contribute for them.
Yep.
Yeah. They didn't take a quarterback.
Doesn't
matter. They're bottoming out.
Yep. They're all in. They know they're all in, and
they got a lot of really good foundational pieces.
Yes, and they're loaded for next year, right? Because of the Russell Wilson trade. So next year, if Drew Lock's not their quarterback, nobody's going to be surprised that they're at the top of the draft, but they'll have pieces that are around them, right? They'll have 2 good receivers, 2 good tackles, running backs, and if running backs don't stay healthy, I think Kenneth Walker will have he'll have a chance to come in and he might start, because Rashad Penny stays hurt. And Chris
Carson's been hurt a little bit more lately too.
Yeah, so he might come in and start. I mean, I think they had some really good foundation picks, man.
Yeah, as people crushed them and have given them C's and D's in the draft because of not taking a QB, not taking Malik Willis in the 3rd. But
no, I loved it.
I think both of the linemen they drafted start for him day 1. Mate probably starts for him. Walker's going to be heavily in the rotation. And one of those 2 corners probably ends up starting for him this year.
They had a really good draft. They said we're not drafting a quarterback. We're going all in. Now, listen, if it sounds like, I don't know, the Cleveland is going to, if they end up cutting Baker, aren't they going to have to pay him anyway?
Yeah. We'll get to it when we get to the Browns, but a big knock on Cleveland's draft is screwing around and not trading Baker Mayfield for whatever they could get.
Like that's just crazy. We are gonna get to them. All right. Kansas City Chiefs, AFC West. I give them an A.
Give him an A.
I think they did good. They're just, I mean, they're one of those teams that they did really good with their picks. Their first 4 picks, man, maybe 5, right? So that corner that they traded of New England for, I had read so many mock drafts that had New England drafting Trent McDuffie because they got rid of Joshua Jackson. Every mock draft I read, I was like, that makes so much sense. He's going to be a good corner. Kansas City gets him. They needed help on defense. Then getting the edge in round 1 from Purdue, another great pickup, man. And he fell. I don't know why. I guess you're ceiling on his athleticism, but like if he's like Ryan Kerrigan, where he averages like 8 sacks for 10 years, that's a great pick. You got to take that, man. Couple, maybe 2 or 3 Pro Bowls, good starter, man. And you get him in the end of the 3rd. Then they got Sky Moore, speed receiver, Brian Cook. I think they did good.
Linebackers from Wisconsin always gonna be well coached and physical.
Yeah,
linebackers from Wisconsin always gonna be well coached and physical.
I think Kennard, the lineman they got in the 5th, is a guy that's immediately going to be like their swing lineman, like first guy off the bench if somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
They did pretty solid.
I mean,
it's one of those things where they did a lot like what I'm sure get to when we get to Baltimore is you sit back, you let the draft come to you, and you take the guys that are falling.
Yep. And it's always great. All right. Denver Broncos. What's the draft?
I mean,
grade?
I feel like they get an A just for landing Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah. You know, I really like their 2nd round pick, their edge, Nick Benito from Oklahoma, and I like their tight end and their corner, and then they got another edge. So they were already loaded, and they have Russell Wilson. They focus a lot on the defense.
Benito, the first 2 picks are probably the only 2 I think that contribute right away, but it seems like a lot of potential depth guys to help round out the roster.
Oh yeah.
What you think, Craig, with the grade for Denver?
I got him at a B+. I thought, like y'all said, the first 2 picks I thought were really well done. I like the corner as well. They add more depth. Maybe he can eventually start alongside of Surtain. But they focused on defense. I mean, really, the offense is straight with the wide receivers and the tight end, and even though they got another tight end, so I thought the offense was good already. The defense was already good as well. I mean, like a top 10, top 15 defense. So adding more pieces for depth, and then I thought they needed the edge rusher as well. So and they took care of that one. So I like the picks for them. I mean, especially with how tough the AFC is going to be. Like a lot of these teams they not really necessarily nailed the draft, especially these top teams like Denver and Kansas City. But I mean, they pretty much nailed the draft. So
yeah, this AFC is going to be tough, and we're going to get to Cleveland. I think Deshaun Watson plays the whole year. So, but all right. Grade for Las Vegas Raiders. I want to go to a game. Hopefully, I do. I want to go to a game. What do you think their draft grade is?
B-.
At a B.
Yeah, I got them at a B. They got Devontae Adams. Great pick. Offense is loaded. They got one of the best tight ends. Good. I mean, at this point, it's some Josh McDaniels, but they got a good
Josh McDaniels.
It is, to be honest.
It's on him.
Hopefully he grew. I just heard stories. You know, I listened to a lot of podcasts with the players, man, and one of DJ Williams when he was at Denver, they were winning and then they started losing. And they was like, no wonder we were losing. They were cheating. I'm just saying this was the players are saying.
What?
You gotta remember that year they were winning and then they just started losing. He was like, man, we were like such and such, and then this happened, and then we just started losing. He was like, no wonder we losing, man. This MF is cheating. I was like, oh man. So it's just it's just funny. So, you know, I think Las Vegas, I think the Raiders did decent, man. They got a running back in the fourth, inside offensive lineman, you know. It's good. I mean, it's gonna be loaded. All right. LA Chargers. I got him with a B.
I got him at B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like their first round pick. Zion Johnson. I think that he solidifies the offensive line. You got a young quarterback, man, and Herbert he's a good quarterback. I
like that running back for Texas A&M. I like Spiller. I watched a couple of their games. I like him.
Yep. So he's gonna be good, and let's get JT Woods for depth. But I like Herbert, even though
you got another offensive lineman from Georgia.
I was wrong on Herbert, and you know,
you say you was wrong on him?
Yeah. Go ahead, Craig. Get that look and drink your water.
I know he wasn't wrong.
Nah, we did a draft, right? We did a draft, and I wasn't sold because of the competition level. And Craig was like, I like him. He's like, I think he's going to be good, man. Watch. He said it too. He was like, watch. So
I'll say this, though. I was wrong on him, too. I thought he was going to need some time. I ain't going to lie. I didn't think I thought he was going to be good, but I didn't think this quick. I thought he was going to need some time. I honestly did.
Back.
I was like,
I'm looking at all
I said he's going to be good, but I didn't think he was going to be this good. This early.
At all the redrafts, and he would have went second to the Commanders. But but Chase Young would have still went top 5, I think. I think he would have went to the Chargers, Chase Young, but yeah.
That'd be interesting.
So Chargers did good, man. Once again, hopefully they'll be going to the playoffs. They were this close last year, literally this close.
Last game of the season.
This close, man. Last seconds. Jeez, man. All right. Last one, NFC North. Green Bay Packers. What grade do y'all give them?
Damn. See? My bad. I mean to cuss. See?
C+.
I feel like their hand was forced. All right, let me say this. I'll give them benefit of the doubt. Their hand was forced at that pick because all the receivers was kind of gone. All the receivers you could have remotely kind of said, okay, I could see them doing the first round draft pick on was gone. So I get it. Everybody was making jokes. The draft was making jokes.
I don't believe you.
I mean, who was still there? Green Bay pick that you could have justified saying that's a first round draft pick. Oh, okay. If you saying it from that standpoint, but I'm saying for where they was picking at. If you saying it from that standpoint, I got you.
Yeah.
But if from a standpoint of where they were picking at, it was nobody left there. They couldn't gone. But I feel like they added 2 day one starters on defense though. I like the dude from Georgia.
I mean, is anybody really surprised that they didn't take a wide receiver in the first round?
Nope.
I'm not.
No.
I thought they should have.
No, I'm not.
But I mean, I guess like I'm kind of sitting there with what Mo said, and there was nobody there at 22 for them to take that they didn't want to trade up for at the time, I guess. So instead, I mean, they do what they usually do and take a wide receiver in round 2. And I like the wide receiver they took out of North Dakota State.
Me too.
He's solid. It's just the fact that he's a rookie and he has to come in right away and try to be a number 1
or solid, yeah.
So I mean, that's going to be tough on him.
Yeah.
But maybe they can find a veteran wide receiver out there somewhere. But like,
I mean, you still got Landry, you still got
Landry's still
Beckham.
out there.
Yeah. For some reason, it's hard.
Julio Jones.
It's
maybe.
hard for receivers to. I don't know. To me, it's like Devontae didn't have like a good year. Like really good receivers will have like a decent first year, and then they start getting better like every year in the NFL. I think it's probably the route tree, the way the ball comes out, the speed of the game, right? So it's going to be, interesting. I think he, steps in day one, but that's typical Green Bay. But those two starters they got on defense, though, they're good. They're really good. So I mean, I got to give them a seat. Here's an interesting one: Minnesota Vikings. What are you gonna get the Vikings, man?
I actually like Minnesota because I thought they nearly need to focus on defense.
Yes.
Offense is, to me, is straight.
Yeah.
Like 5 of their first 6 picks were defense.
They did, yeah. I was surprised by that. And they did a lot of trading back.
Yeah.
They got that the safety out of Georgia.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah,
like
they said he was a
Booth,
first round type of talent. Yeah.
I like Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson, the corner.
Absolutely. Some mock drafts had him first round. So yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get any offensive.
I mean, you went offensive line, then you went linebacker.
They went corner, then went edge.
Then they went corner, then they went edge, and then they went running back. I mean, that running back from North Carolina was solid. And then you go offensive line. I mean, then you went receiver.
Depth, because Dalvin Cook gets hurt.
Yeah.
He misses, especially if you draft from fantasy. But if you draft him, I learned last year you have to get Madison because he's gonna miss. Dalvin Cook's gonna miss like 4 games.
Yeah, I already know who my running back gonna be fantasy.
Miss like 4 to 5 games every year.
Listen, I already know my running back gonna be fantasy. I already know my running back's gonna be. Don't worry about it.
It's way too early.
I know it's way too early, but
Not too early. It's not too early.
Listen,
Not too early, boys.
I already know go by my radar.
I'm already getting hit up. They've already reactivated some leagues as of last month.
Hey, listen, hit me up about them leagues, man. I'm trying to get on this shit, man.
I'm in way too many leagues, but
this year, Craig, you should do it every week, man. We should do.
I'm trying to get on like 2-3 leagues this year. I think I was on 2 last year.
Should do a
James, you know the jump we was on. I think Trail won that one. I had injuries on the back end.
Yeah, your team sucked. My team in my other draft, my team sucked. I went totally against my draft philosophy and it bombed out. But hey, sometimes you try. And I will be back. Like I scored the most points but could never win. Like I was one of those teams that defense was like horrible. Like, somebody would score 35 and I would score 35 and another team would score 42 and I would lose. Like, dang.
Listen, I had Baltimore defense, but then in the beginning I was crushing. Then they got hurt. I was like, okay, this is gonna go bad.
Well, you drafted defensives. Anyway, we're gonna next year, guys. I promise we're gonna do like a whole fantasy. I don't know if it's gonna be every week. I'm gonna ask Craig, who's in massive leagues. So
I mean, everybody plays fantasy though, so everybody can have input on it.
We're gonna have input, but yeah.
I am in a lot of stupid leagues.
Yeah, I feel like you'll be known, but it's gonna be good. All right. So, what about Chicago Bears?
Man, I don't even know what to say about this because I just thought the Bears should have focused more on the offense. Like their offensive line was terrible. And the way I think one game, Justin Fields got sacked 9 times or something like that.
He did. He did.
So,
I forgot what game it was. It was one of the first 2 games he started, something like that.
Why wouldn't you focus on an offensive line? I know they need a wide receiver. They need somebody to replace Allen Robinson. cool, but man, that offensive line was just terrible last year.
I don't.
Because like we had second round. I mean, they went with the corner. I mean, dude out of Washington was good. I mean,
They didn't get any offensive.
yeah. Then you went safety.
Round 5.
Then you went safety. You went wide receiver in third round. You went offensive line in the fifth round. You waited the fifth round to go offensive line, and your offensive line was terrible.
It was horrible.
Yep. Fifth and
I feel like
I don't know, man.
they had to reach on the receiver too.
Yep.
Like everything I had heard is Velus Jones is more of a late round type guy. I think because of a couple of runs at receiver, they had to just take the highest guy they had left available there in the third because they couldn't wait until the fifth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be very good next year.
Bills is gonna get killed back there.
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson.
And the GM's not tied to him, so I don't know how
And they brought in a defensive head coach.
Yeah. So I don't know how that pans out. It does matter where you go sometimes. All right. Detroit Lions. A for me.
A.
I really like their draft.
I like their draft a lot.
I mean, look. They know. See, this is the thing I respect. They know who they are, right? You know who you are. So if you know you ain't gonna win right away, I'm gonna trade up in this first round, get Jameson Williams. I ain't gonna win right away. So if he don't play till November, so be it.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool with that. I ain't got no problem.
I'm willing to redshirt him completely. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I mean, in the second round, you get a good pass rusher in Kentucky.
Yep.
You go get a safety.
Yep.
Like they filled needs, man. They went and got tight end. They went and got needs. Linebacker. Like they filled needs. Like they couldn't really go wrong because they got so many needs. But for what they did in the first round, they killed it. Like you got Hutchinson. Like I said that already. If Hutchinson don't go number one, if you the Lions, I'm running that draft pick up the board. Ain't no time to wait. What we talk about here? Like what we really talk about right now? I'm getting Hutchinson right now.
They got 2 back-to-back cornerstone picks. Last year they got the best tackle. Some consider the best tackle in the draft. This year, best edge rusher. They're drafted different, and I like it. I do, man. It's good to see.
Now I'm gonna tell people what the scary thing is. God forbid, and I never say a team just losing being terrible, but God forbid they terrible next year and get that terrible. They can get Stroud or one of these other quarterbacks. Lord have mercy.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, what you got? Yeah, these quarterbacks come out next year. Oh,
all I can do is shrug my shoulders. If they're bad next year,
it's possible.
The top quarterback is very possible. I like the head coach. I think right now they have a good flow of their organization. So at this point, they're drafting. They have a draft board and they're following it, and I like it. And if they're bad next year, I wouldn't be surprised they get a quarterback. They're going to be like, we're fine. We're fine. Now, it's up to them to hit on that quarterback. And, but right now it looks like they're doing great. Unfortunately, I wish this regime was under when Matthew Stafford was there. Yeah. I think it would have been a difference. But
yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Matthew Stafford to get chipped though. He didn't put the work in.
Yeah. That happens. But all right, AFC North, Baltimore Ravens.
A.
Oh, A. Yeah.
A.
B plus.
Oh.
I just thought they might have tried to get a wide receiver to replace Hollywood Brown. I mean, you have nobody really on the team, so. That's the only reason why you try. I thought once they traded for him, they were going to try to get another one back. Now I did like the Hamilton. I like that pick. I like that they focused on defense because I mean they needed defensive players, especially don't really need them. But last year they lost so many players on defense, so I could understand it.
Yeah, they needed the depth.
Yeah, so I could understand it. But like I said, I just thought maybe a wide receiver is going to be in there somewhere early, but. didn't happen. It didn't happen at all, actually. So
nope. I like
maybe
it.
That's you liked it.
Yeah, A+.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not giving no A+. I just thought maybe a wide. I still think they need a wide receiver. Like, there's no wide.
I mean, that's the only reason I ain't gonna say A+. I say A, but yeah, I agree with the wide receiver thing. But they get Hamilton at 14. Lord have mercy. When he started to slide, I think we all was on here yelling at. We was like, "Oh, Baltimore about to get him." That's a classic Baltimore pick right there. Like he's sliding. Like okay,
They
right.
A lot of picks. They did really good in the 4th round. They drafted
2 tight ends.
Corner.
I like that. I seen that tight end play a couple times out of Coast Carolina. He's good. Like that's gonna be for what offense they run. I think he could be all right.
They got a lot of depth. I think the thing is with the receiver, they drafted a receiver in Hollywood Brown. It hasn't worked. So I think this year they went right back to how they normally do things. And they got Bateman. So we gotta see how he turns out.
Who?
And
he went on the field. Like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
No.
He was hurt most of last year.
Name the other receivers without looking it up.
I mean, Devin Duvernay. He's going to be relied upon a lot.
Johnson. There's no Johnson.
No, Duvernay and Bateman.
Okay, we know that one.
Mark Andrews.
They didn't sign any receivers all season.
Mark
Andrews. They didn't sign or
okay, Mark Andrews is a tight end. So
he's a receiving option.
We're not doing that.
He's a receiving option.
I mean, hey,
he's the best receiver, Craig. You won't get it.
Hey, here's gonna be where I tell.
I can only name 2 receivers.
Yeah.
Here's gonna be the thing that's gonna make Baltimore still good is teams don't. How can I put this? During the regular season, teams don't necessarily study and put the work in, and Baltimore's talent or their strength will overweigh you. But when you get in playoff time, I think they didn't do enough this all season to where you said it can do damage in the playoffs. They did enough in this draft and enough to be a playoff team and to add to what they have. But did they do enough this all season where I say they can go and win a playoff game next year? I don't think so.
This looks like the
AFC team.
Interesting.
It's like the 2000 Ravens with a better quarterback or something.
Yeah. I got it. That's I see what you're saying.
They're a playoff team. I think they done enough to keep them a playoff team if they stay healthy. But when you say, okay, we get in the playoffs and you put them up against a Kansas City or a Cincinnati or a Buffalo or something like that, have they done enough to get over that hump to beat one of them teams in the playoff game? From an offensive standpoint, I'm not gonna say the defense, but from a wide receiver standpoint, you got to be able to make plays downhill because you're not gonna just run the ball against Kansas City or against Buffalo. You're not just going to line up and run that offense against them.
Well, this is what I was saying, Mo, when I was happy that the Commanders drafted a receiver.
Right.
Because just to your point, a lot of teams have 2+ more receivers that go deep in the playoffs. It's hard now to go, now Bateman comes out and Bateman is, really good. And then you have Bateman and then Duvernay and Andrews and it's hidden. But I mean, it's you got a good point. We got to see, but it's going to be hard to win in the playoffs without another receiver. Unfortunately, this isn't like the football that we're used to growing up to, where it was dominated by like a run game.
I'm kind of surprised they haven't. Maybe they have reached out or have some type of interview with Jarvis Landry.
Maybe it's going to be very interesting where he could go because it's a bunch of teams. He said he wants $20 million a year. I don't think he get that.
All right. Well, you know what?
I heard
Christian Kirk got.
I heard the Saints had conversations and him and Honey Badger on their radar, but they ended up signing Honey Badger and they didn't put out the possibility of. They didn't cancel the possibility of bringing in Landry, but what y'all saying with that money? Nah, I don't know about that one.
That's because the NFL salary cap is it's fake number. It's a fake number. Bill Simmons said on his podcast, it's like a college credit card. There is no balance. I swear the Saints had negative cap space. I swear they had negative cap space. How do the Rams keep signing people? How do they keep signing people? Their cap space was like 100,000. They signed. Yeah, they signed. We looked it up. I remember.
No, I'm looking at current cap space.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints are at 18. They still have 18 million.
18. How? How did they have it? What did they do? Where did that number magically go? What's the Rams?
They're like 5 million or something. They're way down there.
Way down there. They had 100,000. How do they have a 5 million at the end of the season? What is this number? This number is made up, guys. All right, man. It's a conspiracy theory I have. I'll continue to have it. Because the team will say we have no cap space, and then they sign 7 free agents. What? How do you sign somebody for 70 million? You don't have any cap space. Anyway, I'll believe it when I see it. All right, so guess I'm waiting for Corey. But all right.
Sorry, had some technical issues there.
All good. It's all good. We were just talking about how the salary cap is made up. But anyway, I don't believe it. I until somebody proves me wrong. I just don't. When a team says they don't have any salary cap, and then they start signing players, I don't get it. Like I said earlier, Ben Simmons said it's like a credit card you get in college. It's a Capital One credit card. It doesn't matter how bad your credit is. You always got to balance.
Until that bill comes due, though.
Yep, that's right. That's it. Until the bill comes due, so you can spend it up. All right. So, Cleveland Browns. Oh no, I'm sorry. Pittsburgh Steelers. What you give their draft grade?
A B.
Only ones that draft a quarterback in the first round.
I got him at a B.
Only ones.
Yeah, a B.
I mean, Kenny Pickett. So I think the only mock draft that had Pittsburgh, I don't know. The only one that I saw was Peter King. And he said that he was like, I got him drafting Kenny Pickett. They know Kenny Pickett. A lot of people had Carolina getting him, right? But they said that they see Pickett every day for 4 years because they share the same facility. So they got their guy. So they know what they have in him. So they seen his work ethic.
I mean, they went back and got another wide receiver from Georgia. They went and got a wide receiver. I mean, they got D-line to help with that D-line.
They got 2 receivers.
I really like
got
Calvin
a receiver
Austin
4
for them.
out of Memphis.
You like Calvin Austin?
4-3-2.
Pickens is a huge gamble.
Yeah.
It's they were able to keep Antonio Brown in check for a while, so
I mean,
maybe they have the infrastructure in place to be able to handle Pickens. Because Pickens has top end of round 1 talent. It's just the off the field stuff.
He also has medical history concerns.
Oh man.
Yeah, coming off an ACL tear, had the car accident apparently like a week before the draft or a few days before the draft.
Yeah.
So you think focus?
Yeah, I mean the Connor Haywood signing. I mean, it's a typical Pittsburgh signing. I think they'll find something for him. They'll use him in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? He's an H-back type person. I think Pittsburgh use him in a type of way with, blocking and rollouts. Reading on his profile, he's not somebody at the NFL level that's going to block inside linebackers consistently.
I mean,
he's not somebody who's going to run guys and leads on.
He got family ties there.
Yeah, definitely do.
You know, so they probably seen him a lot as well. So they probably know his work ethic. So he'll probably come in and you know, we know what Pittsburgh likes. You know what I'm saying? They like people to come to work. And so the Pickens pick was surprising, but I think they're going off like they have enough stable locker room and veterans to keep him focused, because that's what it's about. Because if you keep him focused, then you know he can produce on and off the field. But you know, it's just about focus. All right. Cleveland Browns. Now, Corey, you said something about them earlier that you were going to mention.
I think trading for Watson, and two, screwing around with Carolina and not offloading Baker Mayfield drops their draft grade. Like there's no excuse for you needed to get rid of them. You had zero leverage to try to get higher draft picks out of the Panthers. Just take their first offer and get them out of the building.
It's no excuse for that. That's
so
mismanaging Baker is ridiculous.
Hey, so my question is, does the drafting of Pickett eliminate what people was joking about, like where Cleveland would release Baker straight up and then Pittsburgh would sign him? You think Pittsburgh wouldn't sign? You think Pittsburgh would still sign Baker with Pickett still in camp now at pick number 20?
I don't think so. Not with Trubisky there too.
I don't think so. Not with Trubisky.
Pickett's there.
I see that.
Hey, so you're saying they held him? I mean, him to Carolina's been going on for a while, right, Craig? So I don't know why they just didn't get the deal done. You'd rather have, right? If they say, hey, look, Carolina, we're going to pay $14 million, and it would be you a third pick, you would have did it.
But they didn't have a third pick. But I mean, for next year,
third round pick.
They didn't have a third round pick.
Not this year.
If they had like a fourth round, if they asked for a fourth round pick, or maybe
trade
a third rounder next year.
Where did y'all get the quarterback?
Corral. They traded next year.
Oh, yeah, they traded next year. Okay.
But
say if you would have been able to get a third next year.
If they were able to trade a third next year and then to pay only $4 million of 18 or whatever it is, then that'd have been fine. But they couldn't come to terms on a decent amount of salary that the Browns didn't want to pay, basically. I don't know what Carolina's offer was, but the Browns didn't want to pay it. So
they have to pay anyway. And they probably lowballed them as they should have.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Browns have no leverage.
Yeah, the Browns are eventually going to have to do something. They're going to have to release them, or they're going to have to.
Yeah.
Somebody said that
trade them for pennies, like
somebody said, would you take this deal? I was listening to some podcasts on Channel 4. He said trade Sam Darnold for Baker Mayfield straight up. They both have the same salary. Cleveland gets Sam Darnold, who starts for this 1 year. If Deshaun gets suspended, you're okay because I mean Sam Darnold, right? You're going like whatever, and then Carolina gets Baker.
That's not an even trade, even if it's like even money.
No, it's both the salaries equal out.
Yeah, but the Browns are getting screwed in that deal.
No, they're not. They only need 1 year rent. Yeah. If they gotta pay Baker anyway, and Deshaun's out for the year.
You just said, okay, say Deshaun is not out for the year. Whatever.
You're going to pay Baker?
Say Deshaun is out for the year. Then you're getting Sam Darnold as your starting quarterback. That's not good.
Yeah, Baker's not going to play for you.
I mean, I don't think it works because even if they trade for Darnold, I think Jacoby Brissett's still the backup.
Yeah. I mean,
so
I just because
with that trade, Darnold's their number 3 QB.
Yeah, they're not. So think about it. Baker's not going to play. Even if they say, all right, Deshaun Watson's hurt, Baker is probably going to be like, I'm not playing.
I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that Cleveland will be getting screwed in the deal.
They already got screwed when it came out and said that they've already got screwed. So they have to recoup as much as. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're already screwed.
No,
They're screwed.
you're past the point of recouping anything.
Yeah,
Right.
You've got to get Baker out of the building.
But my thing is this.
Done. There's no, they are screwed. There's no coming back.
Yeah, they set back and watched, and now they screwed. Like too much quarterback movement been made for you to get any type of compensation back from Baker. So you either got to trade him. I mean, you either got to go cut him and he gets signed straight up, or you got to just accept a 7th-round pick, 6th-round pick, and say bump it, bye Baker.
Waiting.
Like, okay, here you go, somebody.
They're waiting. They're waiting for him to get cut.
Like, I mean, at this point, you either cut him or you hold on to him into training camp and hope a team loses a starting quarterback.
And then they hands force, like they got to use something that can hand force.
But then they still have to compete with San Francisco and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. They might as well do it now, man.
They might as well just cut him and let the chips fall where it may.
Realistically,
The whole
that was the case. Why wouldn't you just trade for him then?
Yeah, the whole
have to pay the whole 18.
It's weird. The whole situation was messy. It's been the way they handled it was.
And you would have got back a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Or more, or a player or something. Who knows?
Bad the way they handled it. It was
getting anything back for him would have been better than what they're doing.
Anything, and nobody knows what they're doing.
Maybe they're trying to wait out to see if he's going to be suspended or something. But I mean, if you're Baker, I wouldn't even want to play.
You still can't
Baker's already come out and said he doesn't care. He's not playing for him again, and I don't know how you come back from that.
Yeah, he's not going to go in the building, and you're going to have to pay him. You're gonna have to pay him $18 million. You might as well just cut him. They should have traded him.
You can't cut him though, because I think if they cut him, they got to pay him, right?
Yeah, it's fully guaranteed.
So
it doesn't matter what they do.
You can't cut him. You got to try to trade and try to eat some of it or whatever.
They don't eat none of it. That's why it's not getting traded. It doesn't make sense.
I have no idea what they're doing.
You're gonna have to pay it regardless. You got to pay something.
I know what they're doing, man.
Nobody's just going to take his 18 million and say, okay, we're going to pay this. Like, it's only a few amount of teams anyway that had 18 million, according to some of the sites I've been looking at for the cap space.
Don't believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here it is.
Don't believe the salary cap.
Cleveland's operating as if they have any sort of leverage in this situation, and there's none. There's nothing.
I don't know what they're doing, man. I would have been happy to get Baker on the Panthers for the right price, I guess, but clearly, I guess the price was too much. I don't know.
I don't understand what price is too much.
Well, clearly it's
building, man.
Not. It's at least half. I would assume it's got to be at least. There's no way. If I'm Carolina, I would at least have $9 million of it. Just boom.
Yeah.
10 million. Y'all pay a little bit more than we are. Like, what's wrong with that? You're not paying the whole 18, and you're getting something back in return. So I don't know.
The longer he's there, the longer it lingers into your season, and toxicity.
The headache. It becomes a headache,
especially in NFL.
Yeah.
But it's an unnecessary headache because they pretty much created this for themselves. So
yes.
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what their end goal is. Their end game here is.
I mean, the way they carried this drink, Baker, they totally just made Baker feel like you ain't worth nothing. Like you just ain't worth nothing here.
And now he is. He's worth.
I understand it if you're getting back to Sean Watson, but they just handled the situation
terribly.
So
terribly.
They should have did what Atlanta did. See how Atlanta handled that? Hey, look, Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
we're going to Deshaun. Hey, if y'all.
Matt Ryan just said the other day that if Atlanta didn't openly flirt with Deshaun Watson, he's probably still there.
Yeah. So Cleveland should have just said that.
I think Matt Ryan has garnered more respect, and he's been there longer. Super Bowl MVP, all that.
That's true.
Nothing really for Baker, but one playoff appearance. So I can understand why.
More time.
Yeah, I can understand why you go to him and versus not whatever. So
get it. I get it. All right. Go ahead.
I was saying, but once you trade for Watson, it's you just immediately take the first thing you can find and just get him out of the building.
Yeah, they should have just told him.
They should have. This situation has been a mess.
Straight up told him. It's like saying like hi, and then he looks on Twitter and he's like, "What the what?" Like, what? I just saw the GM. I was just saw the GM yesterday. He didn't say anything. Like, say something. No problem cutting players. Can't tell them that you like. Anyway, whatever, man. It's just the respect is lacking.
Who to go to Cleveland now? Like,
all right, so Cincinnati. What's the draft? I think they did.
He's all right.
I gave him a B.
Yeah. They got a good safety.
It seems like they added some depth around the roster.
Yep.
They addressed the offensive line in free agency. So
and they got a tackle in the 4th round. I think 4th rounders are starters to me, or if they're not starters, they're definitely going to get playing time. They should be getting snaps.
I like the safety. I like the safety they got out of Michigan 1st round.
Yeah. So I think they're gonna. I think they're good. You know. Now let's see if how they bounce back after the, Super Bowl loss.
Yeah.
So. All right, we're gonna round out with these NBA playoffs, and that's gonna finish us up. So right now, it's in the 2nd round, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Phoenix Suns versus Dallas Mavericks. Who y'all got, man?
I got Phoenix. I got Phoenix in 5, and I'm giving the 5. I'm giving the 5 on Luka. I mean, because look at it. And game 1 basically made my point. Luka had 45, and they still lost by what, double digits? I think it was, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
No, they lost.
So, I'm looking at like if Luka to score 45, and that wasn't good enough. I'm like, and Luka still is not fully 100% to my knowledge. I'm like, yeah, you might be gone at 5. Yeah, I'm only giving you the 1 off of Luka. Like, if it wasn't for Luka, I'd be like, this might be a sweep, but I think it's gonna be gone at 5. I think it's gonna be done at 5.
Yep, and I agree. I just got Hulu as live sports, guys. Yeah, I just got. Y'all need to pay me. I just got Hulu. But I agree. I don't think it's gonna be 5 games. I do have the Suns in 6. I just think, some people, Nick Wright has Dallas winning and going to the finals. I don't know how he has that. I don't agree.
He must thought Booker wasn't coming back. He must thought Booker wasn't playing or something. But even with that, I still don't know.
What'd you say, Corey?
Isn't he wrong kind of a lot?
Yes and no. I guess.
Yes and no.
He makes some great takes, man. He doesn't. Who you got, Craig?
I picked this Suns in 6.
Suns in 6, right? Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah, I think Luka. I mean, if Brunson can play like he did in the 1st round, although this is not the same team on defense, but I mean, if they can get Brunson going as well as Luka, then they should be fine to at least win 2 games, I would assume. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5.
Yeah. All right. Golden State versus Memphis. I got the Warriors.
I got the Warriors win.
You got the Warriors?
All right. I'm gonna go. I mean, I go Warriors, and I think it's gonna go 7. I got Warriors in 7.
It's gonna go 7.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go 7.
I think it's gonna go 6.
I think it's gonna go 6. I do like Memphis. Memphis looks like. See, I wish that Zion would embrace New Orleans like Ja has embraced Memphis.
And he is in the culture, man, and I love it.
Hey, listen, I should have put that as up as a topic, and we should have talked about that. I didn't like when they put him. You remember? I think it was right before Game 5 or Game 4. One of them joints. They was in New Orleans, and all they showed was him dunking. He did that one 360 dunk, but they ain't showing working out or nothing. I didn't like that. I'm just like, come on. Yeah, when they showed him just doing that dunk, and then he walked away and everybody sizing it. Like, I see if you showed him working out, he did some stretching, he did some stuff, and he showed the dunk. But for you to only show the dunk and that's all we showing, like, I'm like, really? Like, I feel like you're taking the spotlight off the players in this playoff game and you're showing this man just dunking. Like, we've seen him dunk before. Like, that's where he got drafted on. That's his career. He dunks. Like, we're showing, but I'd rather see him work out, like, show him moving without the basketball, show him doing different stuff. Like, you showed him doing something we've seen him do 1,000 times. Like, I just didn't like that. I didn't really like that. That's just me.
I guess they were trying to show that he's still can dunk or something like that. He still can play.
Yeah, but he didn't play. I see for all that, play him 16 minutes or 15. Like, what are we showing him dunking for?
He's in the same position as Ben Simmons. Like, he's
there we go.
He is. Like, they're in the same boat. Him and Ben Simmons. They don't play, but they go out here and they do all this other stuff. It looks like they're going to play. And then they, like, Ben Simmons goes to Twitter and puts the bull with the emoji with the smoke coming out, which means he's going to play. He's been.
I heard he having surgery now, and I heard he having a procedure. I think it popped on my phone. So 3 to 4 months.
Yep.
Craig, like, yeah, okay. Like, come on, man.
I ain't buying it, man. I'm sorry.
Like, how do you go from you about to play in a playoff series to now you about to have surgery?
Nah, I'm not buying it. I'm out on Ben Simmons. But as far as this series go, I got Warriors in 6.
Yeah, Warriors in 6. Rob Parker on the odd couple picked the Memphis Grizzlies and the Nets in the finals. I can't wait till Warriors beat them. It's another one bites the dust, guys. Get these sportscasters to bite the dust.
I don't know why people thought the Nets were going to. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess they thought it was going to catch fire. I guess maybe they thought the last couple of weeks. I don't know.
This is the NBA, man. It's different. NFL team catches fire. You have to worry about. The NBA, it's a 7-game series. That doesn't happen.
Hey, but the one thing
is the best team wins.
Yeah, and James, to that point, that's what a lot of people were saying. I watched a lot of these drinks in the morning. I watched Get Up and all them. They said the best team is going to win the NBA Finals. Like, it's not the best talent or best, collection of players. It's the best team, like 1 through 7.
Yeah, it's every year. All right, Miami Heat versus 76ers.
Dang.
Before the series started, but obviously Embiid.
I'll be respectful. I'm gonna say Miami in 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Embiid.
If Embiid was healthy, I'd say something different, but I'm gonna say Miami in 5.
Yeah, Embiid's hurt, man.
I think Embiid's supposed to be there Game 3. Now, if he plays, I mean, pretty much
5. He's gonna have the face mask.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna say 5. And B might be good enough to give him a game, but just all GP. But I'm gonna say 5.
Face mask, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that that the Sixers win, and in 6, I'm gonna say 6. But I'm going with the Heat.
You think it's gonna be 6?
I'm going with the Heat in 6. I think Embiid, if Embiid comes back and they can win games 3 and 4, then their series is tied. But obviously they don't have home court. I don't know what
Harden hasn't been showing up.
Harden, I think he has 15 right now, or he had 15 at halftime, but now they're down by 13. So Harden has 16. Yeah, Harden is just not the same player that he was in Houston. He's not even the same player he was in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
It's downslide. You know what it's saying? Now Nick Wright made this take, Corey, and this is a good one. He's saying that James Harden is done his peak.
He's past his
peak. He's 13 years. Iverson, 13 years, started. Those hyper athletic guys, like the stuff that Kobe and LeBron and Tim Duncan did, that's rare, right? By the time you play 13 years in the NBA, you start.
You're just a serviceable player now. You just service.
His game is based on driving to the basket, and he should be working. Right now he should be posting up and shooting more and distributing more. That's what I think.
After last year with the rule changes where you can't like jump into somebody and get off the foul anymore, you can't.
That was it for him.
They changed a lot of rules. A lot of it is rules that James Harden took advantage of. So he can't really get those calls anymore now, and he's not the same player that he was. So that's part of it as well. And I just don't know if he's actually just. Maybe he'll come back next year and he'll be more in shape. I don't know if he's really like fully in shape, or if he is, and he's just because he's not the same.
He needs to change his game the way Kobe and Mike did, and
he's not going to post up.
It's time to, see, but that athleticism, it lasts you so long, man. 13 years is a wonderful career, but it's going to start. And he's looking for a max contract, so.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you can undersell Craig's point there, though, that I feel like James Harden was the beneficiary of a lot of kind of cheap fouls that got him to the foul line a lot.
Yeah.
And you take away that from the arsenal, and that, forces you to change your game on the fly.
Yeah. Take that away, and he starts getting older, losing some of that athleticism. I know he's had some hamstring issues. Those soft tissue injuries, they linger long the older you get. So, I hope he comes back and balls out, because I like it when the NBA is like this. So, we'll see. Boston Celtics versus Milwaukee Bucks. I think this is going to be a really good series.
I'm gonna take Milwaukee in 7.
I got the Bucks in 6.
Yeah, I'll take Milwaukee in 7. I think it'll be classic. I think I'll take Milwaukee in 7.
You do a 7 too, Greg?
Yeah. I thought the Nets were going to be here, honestly. So I had the Nets Bucks in like 6 games, but I think
Chris Middleton's out the whole series, though, right?
No, man.
I think he's coming back.
Think so.
You might be right. I think he is out.
I think he is.
I don't know if they really need him. It'd be nice to have him. The problem to me is that Boston shoots they've shot 93 threes in 2 games.
Which is crazy.
That I don't understand.
Unsustainable.
It's crazy. You almost shot 100 threes in 2 games. You're averaging like 46 and a half a game. That's ridiculous.
That's why I think
when they had James Harden on the team 2 years ago. Like numbers, or even the Warriors are not shooting 93 threes.
No. Hey, but the wild part was I think Memphis won last night, but they said Clay and Steph was like 6 of 30 from the floor or something like that. Something crazy, something retarded. I'm like, what?
Steph, Clay, and Poole, they were off last night, but they only lost by 5. Imagine if Clay hasn't played well. So if Clay plays
decent, they win.
That's
why I picked the Warriors.
I'm picking the Warriors anyway. I picked them to win the finals.
So I think the Bucks win. I think. And then we're gonna have an interesting Western Conference and Eastern Conference final. Miami.
I don't want Miami to make it, man. I don't.
And then Suns and Warriors. It's gonna be some really good series. You said you don't want who to make it?
I don't want Miami to make it.
Why not?
I'm not a big like Jimmy Butler fan or nothing like that. Like I just don't. I'd rather have Philly. Like I want to see Embiid.
Yeah, I like
him. Have a chance to get to the Eastern Conference or get a chance to get to the finals.
And it's unfortunate this year for Embiid because he's been playing out of his mind. A lot of people picked him for MVP. I believe. No, you picked Jokic. But he's been balling. He's been balling, man.
If they lose this series to Miami, do you think Doc Rivers get a pass? Think Rivers get a pass?
I think so.
I mean, at least for one more year because Embiid's hurt.
Yeah.
But it's a 1 year pass, right? You don't think it's like a 1 year pass, right? But next year,
Tony.
I think they need no. I'll be that.
I said the Hornets gonna hire D'Antoni.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that because if you look at
why I think he'll be good for LaMelo.
No, because if you look at the Hornets' flaw, think about it. Look at their flaw over the last 2 times they've been put out of their playing game. They don't play defense, so you're gonna bring in the coach in that don't believe in playing defense.
Doesn't focus on defense.
Yeah, like that. That's not smart. No, like I see if they can't score. But they can score. But the last 2 years has been they don't play no defense. He's gonna bring in the worst defensive-minded coach.
He's gonna have the worst defense, but LaMelo,
they already had one of the worst defenses. They were terrible.
LaMelo will probably flourish into a really good. He's already gonna be a really good NBA player, but that system is gonna make him like.
He's not gonna be there long term.
So you gonna put fans in stands, kid, and still get put out the playing game. You still because the East gonna get better. Ain't like the East gonna get worse. The East ain't old. It's like they still gonna be in the same spot.
They get D'Antoni. That's not a good hire, man.
Yeah, not for that team.
D'Antoni's never won a championship. He's been to I think the conference finals once or a couple times or something like that. No, more than once.
If Steve Nash and James Harden's game.
Steve Nash is another one. He's not a good coach. He's not a good defensive coach.
NBA player.
He's not a good coach. He doesn't deserve to be.
James Harden was a good NBA player. I'm
not saying all right. So I'm not saying D'Antoni should be.
I think he's gonna make LaMelo. His offensive system fits LaMelo. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not arguing that. James. I'm arguing.
What, Craig?
You're gonna put a non-defensive coach on a team that's their worst aspect of their team is defense. That does not make them better, especially the East. The East not getting worse. The East not downgrading.
Well, this is Michael Jordan's the owner, so guess what, guys?
Yeah, sound about right. Yeah.
And he makes
Jordan played defense though.
That's Craig's team, man.
That's
right. Yeah, I know he's making bad hires.
Hey, listen, I'm a Lakers fan. We're not doing any better.
Talking about trading for Westbrook? Nah, man.
Yeah, yes. Trade for Westbrook and hire D'Antoni.
That'd be tough.
Oh man,
Freaking Lakers fans in there.
Hey, Westbrook is gonna either
Desperation to get rid of Westbrook.
either go to the Pacers. Or he's
Go ahead,
And
bro.
that makes no sense.
None, man.
Buddy Hield and Malcolm Brogdon are solid assets. Why the hell would you give them up for nothing?
Oh no,
Yeah, nothing.
I think they would
Cheese and
fit
crackers.
really good in LA. I think Buddy Hield
Cheese
and
and
Malcolm
crackers.
Brogdon would fit really good in LA. They would fit
Sure
really
they
good.
would. Russell Westbrook would not look good in Indiana.
Hey, I don't know if y'all follow college football really heavy. The top wide receiver that won the award that was with Pickett, he's in the transfer portal.
Oh yeah. He was throwing. He was he with Caleb Williams today? I was looking at that.
Yeah, they talking about he might go to USC, and that's it. But they talk about tampering. They talk about it's a tampering issue. Maybe.
How do you tamper?
I know, but it's been reports about that a tampering issue with USC.
How? College football and college basketball invented tampering.
Yeah,
they tamper the most. They're worse than the NBA and the NFL. At least NFL, NBA paid them.
Like for instance, I knew when Oklahoma quarterback was leaving. I knew he was
colleges just be playing players underneath the table, man. Jeez, their tampering is sick. I know they're not talking about tampering, man.
Hey, so hold on. Hey,
they just don't like the portal because it gives the players, like I could get inside this portal and talk to Caleb Williams in USC and go out and throw with him. And then because of the NIL, they can pay me money. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. So, all right, guys. That's a wrap.